Hey guys, what is going on? I am JHam and welcome to episode number 3 of JHam's high school tips and stories. This is junior year. This is a series where I talk to you about my high school experiences and hopefully I can help you get through it all. So if you're a freshman and thinking, okay, what's the best way to go throughout high school? Hopefully this video teaches you a thing or two about each year of high school and how you can hopefully have a better high school career than I did. So let's get started. This is junior year. I'd first like to start off by saying congratulations, you've made it for the first 2 years of high school. The first years possibly might have been the hardest times because you're trying to get used to yourself, trying to get used to other people, trying to meet everyone, and really trying to experience high school for the first time. And with everyone, being so mean and everything, it's probably difficult. So congratulations, you're halfway there and halfway to go. And at least that's the way it was in my high school. So I have a few stories and I have a few tips I would like to share with you of how I got through high school, and specifically junior years. The first story I'd like to share with you is the upperclassmen jokes. So in my high school, we don't have a pool or anything. The closest pool we have is at our recreation center, or we call it the Hempfield Rec Center, and that is where our pool is for our swimming team and everything. We don't have a pool in the actual building. So whenever we would have freshmen or even some sophomores come up to us and be like, hey man, where is room 125? And we're like, dude, don't worry, I got your back. It's next to the pool. Or something. It's like, where's the cafeteria? Oh, you go right to the center of the building, and you go down to the bottom floor, and there's a pool there, and you have to eat in the pool. Did you bring your swim stuff? And they're like, no, there's a pool? And then we make sure they believe that everything we say, we make sure that they believe. So that's probably the one thing I would tell you. Make sure when you are upperclassmen, you are telling underclassmen every single lie that you can. Now, I'm kidding, but definitely do some jokes. Definitely say, oh, everything's next to the pool, especially if there's not a pool in your building. Or if you have a pool, say it's next to your tennis courts or something that you don't have. Make sure you're telling underclassmen, hey, that's where it is. And they don't believe you, then they're like, well, I guess you're going to be late for class because that's where it is. So, definitely try to take advantage of that because it's definitely a fun thing to do. We got into a little bit of trouble for it. But what are they going to do? Is tell us not to do it? Because we don't really care after sophomore year. You really care less about school. So, and that's something that I shouldn't say, but it's the truth. This year you're going to start caring less and less about school. Really, the first 2 years I cared a lot about school, and afterwards I was like, whatever. It's high school. I'm not going to be like missing out on life's advantages after this point. So, that's just how I'm going to continue. So. Definitely take advantage of the freshman and sophomore jokes. I think it's hilarious. The next biggest thing for me, my junior year, was definitely girls. Girls got super crazy after, they became upperclassmen. It was like this huge self-esteem booster or something because they were definitely a lot more flirty. They were definitely a lot more, out there to, just to try to, I guess you could say, be friends with everyone if you're catching my drift. But, it was just very weird. Girls would be very mean to each other and to guys too. So, that was a time where girls were like, oh yeah, I like you. And then, they're like, I don't anymore. And it kind of sucks, but it's also just girls are being crazy. They're maturing and they're just becoming crazy. So this isn't a tip. This isn't one of my official tips, but definitely be careful. Definitely be careful about women, especially when you become an upperclassman. They start becoming more mature and they start manipulating guys a bit more. This was also the year that I found out what I wanted to do for a living. So when I was in the end of 10th grade, beginning of 11th, or end of sophomore, beginning of junior year, I went to a new youth group with my old youth leader from my old church that kind of brought me back to my faith back in 9th grade. Long story short, he invited me, I went, and they did a event at a local radio station called Youth Group Night. And that was pretty much just an event that the local radio station provided some churches to have their youth group over at the radio station to, learn something about the DJs and what they do and about the radio station and what they stand for. And that was really the night that I found out that I wanted to be on radio. And a little tidbit of information, my thumbnail is actually me and my friends in the studio in front of the microphone. And all of the videos that I've done for this series, the year that I'm talking about is the year that that picture was taken. So my freshman year picture is the year of my freshman year video. Senior year, I'll have a prom picture with me in my senior year. Oh my gosh. So that's just a tidbit of information. But me finding out that I love broadcasting really kind of threw me in a whole whirlpool of new ideas and imaginations for my brand new year, or for my next years of high school and continuations of therefore high school. So broadcasting definitely found a new college avenue for me as well. So this year really changed a lot in my life, and I definitely went to go to college visits and college tours, and found out that I wanted to go to Penn State, Harrisburg, and University Park, and do all that stuff, and really that was all because of junior year. So of course, just as expected, I definitely do have some tips for you. I have, 5 tips for you. And the one about colleges, definitely start looking for colleges, looking for major ideas. What do you want to do with your life? Start thinking about that this year. Start sending out applications and doing SATs and PSATs and ACTs and all those different tests to see how much of college you're ready for, and definitely try to gear towards college now that you're becoming an upperclassman and starting to experience more of life, and trying to continue your education. Or maybe education isn't your route. Maybe you want to go into the military. But whatever you want to do, start thinking about it this year. This year is the year that, you have an entire another year to decide, but it's a great time to start thinking. A little thinking doesn't do any bad. A little education and a little knowledge is a harmful thing, but a little thinking about your future is definitely not a hard thing. This is the year where you get to decide what you will do for the rest of your life, or at least start thinking about it. But with saying that, a lot of you are probably thinking, man, I'm almost done with school. I don't have to really do anything. Definitely stay on top of school. Start thinking more about next year. Start thinking about senioritis. If your school allows you to, go in and take a double, get all of your major classes done junior year, because senior year is going to be a heck of a lot harder. I'll tell you that. It is definitely a lot harder to take an English class 12th grade than it was in 11th grade. So definitely look out for those things, and try to get all of your classes out of the way if you can do that. Also look for off-campus experiences if you can get it. If your school allows it, like my school did. I did an internship in a school to work program, and if your school allows you to do that, I would tell you by far, go after it. Say, hey, I know you guys have an internship program. I have somewhere I want to intern at. Find out if you can, and if you can do their internship program, definitely do it. I enjoyed mine more than I can ever tell you. Is that that radio station that my picture's at. I was an intern there. I was on air a few times. I learned the behind the scenes stuff. It was awesome. I also did school to work, where I went to work every day a little bit earlier than everyone else, got out of school and just wrote a paper or so about, how this improved my life. And those things I would definitely do this year, junior year, or your senior year, depending on when your school allows it. Mine did junior and senior. Some classes only, or some schools only allow senior year, but definitely look into it if it's possible. Or do dual enrollment, especially for 12th grade English classes. My school allowed us to do a college course at a local college, and I didn't do it, and I wish I would have, because it gave you college credits. It did a lot for you. So definitely look for off-campus experiences if your school allows it. Now let's take a look back at the beginning of the video. I told you that you are no longer an underclassman, but you are an upperclassman. Now, my big tip for this, don't let the word upperclassman get to your head. You're not that big yet. You're not a senior yet. You don't have senior abilities yet. You're still, technically, to a senior, you're still underclassman. So definitely try to respect everyone at the school. You can say some of the upperclassman jokes, but don't let it get to your head. Even as a senior, I would even say don't let it get to your head, because it's not really that big of a deal. You're out of there. But if someone's coming after you and is like, hey, you suck, you're only a junior, well, what the heck are they, a freshman, a sophomore? You definitely have more of a leeway, but you don't have, total, control over the school and everything about the school. So don't let it get way too out of your hands and out of your head, and, just try to realize you're still not a senior, but you're definitely not an underclassman anymore. And my last and final tip is the same as I said last time. get involved. Get involved through clubs, get involved through classes, just get involved. Your high school experience throughout all 4 years will be 1,000 times better if you just get involved in activities and groups or whatever, because if you don't, you're going to have a crappy time. You're not going to have many friends, and if you do, it's going to be because of a few classes or maybe from a friend or something that you've had since, second grade that, will love you forever because, you've been friends forever. But definitely try to get involved with anything you can. Try to get a job, those types of things. You only go through high school once. Why don't you try to get involved as much as you can? Well, that is all the time I have. Thank you for listening. My name is Jeff, also known as JHam, and if you guys like this video a lot, please give this video a like and a favorite. If you guys are new, please press the subscribe button. It's been on the upper right hand corner of the entire video, and in the outro it'll also be on the upper right hand corner, just a little bit bigger. Press the subscribe button. Check out all the links down below in the description. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will catch you guys for your senior year video tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.